In his latest role, Ralph Fiennes does what he seems to do best.
I never do anything that serves no purpose.
Play the bad guy.
If you do not give him up at once, I will see to it that every home and every checkbook in this country is closed to him.
Playing opposite Keira Knightley in The Duchess, he's a philandering, cold, and cruel 18th century English aristocrat whose wife does not deliver him a son, has her own affair to match his, and is ostracized.
As a husband, I have fulfilled my obligations, but you have not.
A simple case, then, of male chauvinism in breeches and wigs.
What kind of man are you?
Not so simple if you're Ralph Fiennes, who thinks it's his job to discover why the baddies behave so badly.
I felt there's a human being here, trapped in a code of behavior, a way of having to behave, which makes him insensitive to the point of cruelty in some places. But in his head, he's not an emotional sadist at all.
There's a reason Fiennes is so good at being bad. He's had plenty of practice. His big breakthrough in the U.S. was as a Nazi in Schindler's List. He was a cheat as Charles Van Doren in Robert Redford's quiz show.
Do you know the name?
Yes, I know his name. Halleck, General H.W. Halleck.
And well before that, he was a murderer in Prime Suspect, the British series that made a U.S. star of Helen Mirren.
No. No, no!
Lately, with the help of a lot of latex, he's been the personification of evil as Voldemort in the most recent Harry Potters.
You're a fool, Harry Potter. And you will lose.
You've done a certain number of dark roles, beginning with the Schindler role, obviously. Are you drawn to them because of the complexities that you find in characters that we would consider to be bad people?
Yes, is the answer. Is the quick answer.
Can you elaborate?
Well, I think everyone has a world inside them. Even the people who do the worst things have all kinds of layers.
To Fiennes, they're just more interesting. Laszlo Almasi, the Hungarian count who falls in love with Kristen Scott Thomas in The English Patient, is a case in point.
There was a scene that sort of helps to define his character when he's driving across the desert, and Kristen, playing Catherine next to me, and she starts to talk. Then he suddenly says, well, I once drove a long way to a town called Fire. We didn't talk all day.
That was a good day.
Basically saying, shut up.
There's another reason Fiennes has tended to stick to type.
Well, I've always been a bit nervous of comedy. I've never thought it was something that I had any kind of facility for.
I suppose you got a gun up there?
Yeah.
Yet, the Prince of Darkness can do funny, even if it's dark comedy, like his London gangster in the recent movie, In Bruges.
Well, what are we going to do? We can't stand here all night.
Why don't you both put your guns down and go home?
Don't be stupid. This is the shootout.
Vicar, I need more gold bullets.
He's even done animation voices. That's him as Quatermain in Wallace and Gromit.
Get your hairy mitts off my future wife, you big brute.
To be fair, though, the light touch needed to carry off John Steed in the remake of the British 60s cult hit The Avengers may have eluded him. The film was panned and flopped. Did you think you looked silly in The Hatter with the John Steed role?
I have to say I enjoyed making that film, and I thought there would be a market for a remake of The Avengers. It didn't work, but when I was making it, I didn't think that, and I enjoyed it and disappointed, but I think that a box office disaster is a badge of honor. You've got to have one somewhere.
I walk.
Fiennes is back in London, returning to the theatre, as he says he has to do from time to time.
All I know is that I don't want to be away from the theatre for too long.
Why not?
because being in front of an audience is an acting experience that film can never ever give you.
His Oedipus Rex, not an exercise in light entertainment, opens next month. But it's the movie work that pays the bills and gives him his international stardom, even if he remains uncomfortable with that sort of pressure.
When you think about the big stars, the big male stars, I won't go through the list of who's big in the movies now. Your name now figures on that list. Do you think of yourself in those terms now? I'm in the big leagues. I can.
No, well, I don't. No, I don't. For me, there are like a handful of really big stars that can open a movie.
Right.
I don't think I'm in that league. I mean, I think things change, and for a minute, one can have that light can come onto you, and then a couple of films like the Avengers, and it's the light drifts away.
And it's a brilliant light. Too bright sometimes, Fiennes says, when it penetrates into his personal life. His marriage to and divorce from Alex Kingston, the former Dr. Corday from ER. His tabloid fodder relationship with Francesca Annis, who played his mother in Hamlet and, at 18 years his senior, could have been his mother. It broke up when he was discovered in an affair with someone else. In his quiet, private way, Fiennes does have a reputation as a woman magnet. Sometimes
when the world decides that the other bit of you, the behind scenes, the offset person, has to be investigated, then I think it's uncomfortable.
Can you be a popular actor these days, an international figure, without having your love life spread across the newspapers in that respect?
It's hard, I think. I feel myself slightly shifting awkwardly in the chair. I do, and I have felt uncomfortable. Even now, slightly, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable as you persist. So maybe, you know, I see there are actors, not just actors. I see there are musicians or politicians or sports people who are very good at engaging with the public, and they're very skilled at it, and I'm impressed with that. Sometimes I try to play that part, and other times I don't like playing that part, and I want to back off.
Fiennes has won a Tony for his Broadway Hamlet and has been nominated for 2 Oscars but never won. His ambitions, though, now go beyond acting. He's working on a movie project which would have him morph into a director. Enigmatic to the end, though, this is all he'll say about that.